We're going to work on our hips today. Meg requested that. That's great. I like that. I like when I have requests and we can do different things. So the hips are, you know where the hips are. But there's Marge. So Marge, make sure that you maybe have, if you have blocks, get blocks. Okay. And then anything else that you might need, like a blanket underneath the knees. And we're going to get started right away. So we're going to be working on our hips today. This is a place of where the emotions come. This is where our hormone production is in and around the hip area, in the adrenals. And so sometimes we get really tense there. Sometimes we bring our tension into the hip area. A lot of people think it's in the shoulders, but we run out of room in the shoulders. So we fill up the shoulders, not enough room. Let's push it all back down into the hip area, and it stays there. We release the shoulders and we forget to release the hips. So, that's what happens sometimes. So actually a lot of the time. I believe I spoke about this in our last practice, but I'd like to go through the 5 essentials for 5 essential attributes for change and transformation, because that has to do with absolutely everything and your practice, and as of today as well too. So the first thing is be willing to start again. Okay, so if something isn't working for you and you have these high expectations, don't worry, don't judge, just start again, even if it's from the very, very beginning, and that's perfectly okay. No one's judging you. Okay, and then let the questions come. Ask yourself questions. How does this feel? What am I doing? Where am I going? Who am I honoring? Myself, hopefully. And just those kind of questions. Why am I doing this? So just keep on thinking about those questions. And then be true to yourself. So everyone's gone through experiences that they can relate to in different circumstances. And so you can find some truth in those experiences, and your truth lies in your gut and in your heart. So just remember to kind of just go back, this is into the reflection part of it, and then just pull up those truths, pull up those experiences, and just be curious enough to find out exactly what is what before you dive into something that in the wrong direction, according to what you need to do. So yoga is a place where yoga meets you. You don't meet yoga. Yoga comes to you, and it will meet you wherever you are, okay? And remember to have some discrimination. So not everything is going to be right for everybody. So you have choices, you have decisions, and you are very free to make any of those, okay? So make sure of that. And then the last one is just to reflect, and we will give pauses to reflect. Take that pause, take the time for reflection, take the time to process and to integrate all the things, all the knowledge that is coming into you. Okay, so saying that, we're going to bring ourselves into, you can sit on a little blanket if you like. We're going to bring ourselves into butterfly pose. So the heels and the soles of the feet are going to come together. Okay, and here's where the blocks might come in handy. You can place them underneath the knees if your knees are way up here. So play around with it if you want to stuff some things underneath your knees or underneath your thighs to feel a little bit more support. You can do that. And we're just going to either hold on to the tibia or the ankles, or maybe just the knees. Sit up as tall as you can, root down through your seat. And then allow your eyes to close. And begin to just be aware of the space that you're in. Just noticing what's around you, your body. on your mat in this position, the shape of it. And then slowly begin to turn inwards. Just noticing what there is to notice. Doing a scan of the body. Noticing your feelings, your emotions. Might be a few of those coming up out of the heart and the gut as we start to stimulate the adrenals. Just with this simple openness we're giving them. Let's just notice where you're beginning from. Noticing your breath, maybe for the first time today, and how it's moving in and out of the body. So watching that breath, allowing the breath to get a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper. But also be still very aware of the sensations that are coming out of the body. The sensations are the way of the body speaking to us. So the body speaks through sensations. So it's a good idea to listen to those sensations. Remember, there's the big subtle or big gross sensations, and then the teeny tiny little subtle ones as well too. You might feel like gravity's pulling the knees down. So just allow that to happen. Don't force yourself and hold on rigidly. Allow the knees just to fall to where they land. You might feel a little bit softer as we stay here, just for a couple more breaths, as the breath gets a little bit deeper. I'm just noticing what's happening in the hip area, maybe in the inner thigh. And even though we're working a little bit more on the hips today, you're still going to be noticing the connection with the rest of the body. So down into the thighs, into the knees, into the ankles, and then moving up into the lower back, into the chest, into the shoulders. Just noticing here. Now there's a tendency of the body to slightly go forwards. Try to keep it as upright as you can. Let's take one more breath here. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Okay, so we're going to try to keep your legs like this, or we're going to lay down. Okay, so you can move yourself away, or turn yourself around, and then lay yourself down on your back with your feet together, soles of the feet together. And you can move your feet away from you a little bit more, or maybe you want to bring your feet a little bit closer. And just allow the knees to fall away. And you're going to feel a little bit, maybe a little bit more supported this way. Maybe you feel a little bit more sensations this way. Just be very observant of what's happening. Remembering the yamas through the sutras of Patanjali, and that the first one is kindness towards ourselves. Finding the kindness, and then the truth. Finding our boundaries. Let's take 2 more breaths here in this position. Again, just noticing what comes up. Might be a different thought, might be an emotion. Okay, and then on your next breath, you're gonna slowly bring your hands underneath your legs, your thighs, and we're gonna bring the legs together. So bending into the knees, and just stay here for a moment. Maybe bring the feet away a little bit and connect the knees together. So just coming into constructive rest just for a moment. I'm just noticing the sensations that come out of this. Maybe it's a sensation of relief to coming out of that position. And then we're going to bring the knees in towards the chest, pushing your lower back into the ground. Flex your feet and grab hold of the outside edges of your feet or your ankles and bring yourself into a happy baby. So your arms are pretty much in the inside of your knee and you're holding on to the outside of your feet or your ankles. And the idea is to bring your knees closer towards your armpits. The sole of your feet are reaching up towards the ceiling. And you might rock side to side and just think of a happy baby, how in this baby pose, babies are just discovering their feet. They're bending and straightening the legs. So just create a little bit of movement here with your breath. And then when you feel ready, just be still. Just notice. And think about taking your tailbone and seeing if you can bring it closer towards the ground, pushing your lower back in towards the ground, maybe even trying to push your shoulders into the ground. Back of your head is heavy. Don't force it. We'll take one more breath here. Good, and then reach those legs all the way above you into the sky, up towards the ceiling, and then bring the knees in towards your chest. Give a little squeeze. Keep the right knee in towards your chest and bring the left leg. Reach it out and down. Flexing your feet. And then you're going to take your hand, you're just going to start to move your right leg around in circles, right in that hip joint. And these circles can be as big as you want or as small as you want. You can hold on to the leg if you want to, or don't hold on to the leg. You decide what works best for you. So going one direction, noticing, where the leg gets stuck. Our hips are a ball in a joint, a ball in a socket, sorry. But not everyone's is formed exactly the same. So there might be a little bit of friction there, a little bit of stickiness, and then go in the opposite direction. So just notice that if it moves smoothly or if it gets stuck a little bit. These are all just observations. Just be curious, ask questions. So you're going in that opposite direction. Let's go one more time around. So you're going as slow or as quick. Well, try to go as slow as you can, but going in big or small circles. And then come back to center. Reach that right leg all the way up. And then bring it all the way down to meet the left leg. Stay here for a moment. And then take your left knee in towards your chest. Give it a little hug. Flexing both feet. So as we're squeezing in one of the legs, that hip flexor is getting strengthened. We're squeezing it in and we're stretching out the other hip flexor on the other side as we straighten that leg. Okay, so either keep holding on to that left leg or release it, and we're going to start to do circles in that hip. And again, those circles can be as big or as small as you like. Go slow. Noticing on this side, because both hips are not identical. Just notice how how smooth the movement is, or if there's some little sticky parts. We'll just become observant. Notice how that all feels. Okay, and then when you're ready, you can go in the opposite direction. And again, noticing. Really paying attention to the sensations that are coming out of this. They will let you know, the body will let you know what is happening. Listen. You don't want to hear it screaming, so listen when it whispers. Okay, let's go one more time around. And then bring it back. Hug towards the chest. Bring that leg all the way up towards the ceiling. And then lower it all the way down onto the ground. And just stay here for a moment. This is where we start to integrate. Taking that pause. We're taking a moment to reflect. Okay, and then we're going to bring the knees back in towards the chest. We're going to cross at the ankle. Okay, so this is where we can have some fun. We're going to rock from side to side and then start to roll forwards and backwards. And maybe this forwards and backwards can take you all the way up and bring you into a table. So play around with that, and we're going to meet in tabletop. So you get there however you need to get there. And so we're on our hands and knees. If you need some cushioning on the knees, put some cushioning on the knees. Toes are directly behind our heels. Okay, we're going to start with a cow. So dropping the belly, looking up. And then exhale into our cats. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Okay, and then coming back to our table, we're going to start to move in circles, but the movement's going to come from our hips. So we're going to inhale, moving ourselves forwards, and the right hip's going to kind of jut out as we're coming all the way down towards that right heel. So we're kind of pushing the hip out, and then we're going to kind of bring the hips back to both heels. The left hip is going to jut out as we move all the way back up into the hands and coming back to center into both hands. And we'll go again over towards the right side. Hip slides down towards that right ankle. And then center on both heels. Left, going over to the left side. Moving ourselves all the way back up and coming back into the center of our hands. And then we'll go in the opposite direction. Over towards the left side, left hip slides all the way down to that left heel. And then coming to center over both heels, over towards the right side. That right hip moves all the way up into the wrist. And then one more time, over towards that right side, going slow, noticing what you're noticing, all the way down towards that right heel, center over both heels, over towards that right side, all the way back up and back to center, back to our tabletop. Just take a moment here and notice. Okay, and then we're going to take that right leg, reach it out, push into the toes. And if for any reason your hands are not obeying themselves right now, you can always come down onto your forearms. That's always an option. Always move around what works best for you. So just pushing that heel away and then lift up that leg, trying to keep those hips level. You're going to bring the leg all the way out towards the side. Holding it there, pressing into that foot. And again, trying to keep those hips level. And then bringing that right leg all the way forwards into a lunge. Into a lunge. Can everyone see me? Okay, into a lunge with the right foot forwards. Curl your back toes on your left foot, and you're gonna bring your hands into the inside. So I'm gonna turn around here. Into the inside of your right foot. Okay, so push into those left toes and then lift the knee up. Stretch it out. So a nice stretch through that left hip flexor, and then bring the knee down. So now this is where you can use the blocks. So if you need to use the blocks, or if you need to push up your hands a little bit more, you can. And what you're going to do is you're going to wiggle your leg. I'm just going to leave the blocks for now. Wiggle that right leg outwards a little bit. Okay, so wiggle the right leg out. Okay, and then you're gonna put the weight into the outside of your foot. So we're going into lizard lunge. Okay, so this is might be as far as you go. You might even have your hands, just to give you a little bit more space, you might have your hands on blocks. Or you might want to bring your arms all the way down and allow yourself to rest here. There's also the option of pressing into those left toes and picking up that left knee. But you find out what works best for you. Noticing sensations. Okay, so we're on the outside edge of that right foot. But if that's not working for you, just keep yourself into a lunge. And again, just bring the awareness to your hip. And if you need to raise yourself up a little bit more, you can always use a chair for a little bit more support. You can put something underneath your knees. We're going to hold it here for maybe 2 more breaths. Again, just notice what's happening in the hip area. Okay, and then we're going to walk that right foot in a little closer. Keeping the hands in the inside of the foot. You're going to lift up the knee on the left leg, and you're going to do a little hop and bring yourself into Malasana. Haha, little trickier. So just do what you can do. You might not be here. You might be here. Remember, yoga meets you where you are. So just do what you can do. So hold it here. Allowing the softness to come through your buttocks, through your hips. And then we're going to bring the hands back down and then walk your feet back and come into a downward dog. Let's get a little stretch here, a little release through the legs, wiggling your hips around as much as you need to. Okay, and then we're going to bring our knees right back down and come back into our table. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So the left leg, once you're in your table, your toes are curled. You're going to extend your left leg out behind you. Push your heel away, and then bring that leg all the way out towards the side as if you were putting yourself into gate pose. Push into the foot. Okay, trying to keep your hips and your shoulders level. And then taking that left leg, you're going to bring it forwards and come up into a lunge. Good. Okay. Now, again, you can use your blocks for this. You can lift yourself up onto a chair for this. Hands are into the inside of your foot. Left foot, and your left foot moves over towards the outer edge of your mat. And then you're going to tip over your foot so you're putting the weight more into the outer edge of your foot. Okay? So we can just keep it here, or you can extend your leg a little bit more if you want to. You can push into your toes and lift your knee up if you want to. You can come down onto your forearms if you want to. So play around and explore. Be curious on what is working for you today. Don't force anything. Don't judge yourself. Be willing to begin again and ask lots of questions. And notice if what's going on and where you need to make changes for this pose to suit you. We're going to take a few more breaths here, seeing if you can soften through the hips, through the groin. Okay, let's one more breath. And then bring that left foot back. And then we're going to lift up that right knee and see if you can just do a little hop and bring yourself into a Malasana again. Or into your version of a Malasana. Good. And then from here, press into those feet and you're going to lift yourself all the way up. Reach your arms up above your head. Heel toe your feet together if you need to. Stretch up as tall as you possibly can. And then bring your hands down by your side. Okay, so let's take this moment now to reflect. Close your eyes. And just notice your body. Notice your breath. Notice all you've done. How do your hips feel? What other parts of your body are trying to speak to you at this moment? Did you push yourself too far? Did you overstep your boundaries? Were you able to listen? Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes we ignore what we're trying to tell ourselves. I'm just as guilty, so. It's remembering kindness. Okay. I'm going to inhale the arms all the way up, reach all the way up, and we'll float ourselves down, bend into the knees, come into a nice gentle forward fold, and then we're going to bring ourselves all the way back up again. And one more time, float it all the way down. We're hinging from the hips. Inhale, lift up, lengthening through the back, reach yourself up, and then bring your hands towards your heart. Okay, take your right leg and cross it over your left leg. Okay, so your feet are pretty much even. You can adjust it so that you have equal weight into both feet. And then inhale the arms all the way up. Clasp your hands, point your fingers upwards. Okay. And then you're going to take your left hip and move it out. So your right foot is going towards the left and your left hip is moving towards the left. And we're standing up nice and tall, rooting down through both feet. Okay, we're going to do a little side bend over towards the right side. So going nice and slow, moving ourselves over towards that right side. Just go to where you can go. When you start to feel something, then you know to stop. Hold it there. And then inhale, lift yourself up, grow a little taller, and then go over towards that left side. Go slow. Again, you might not get very far. When you notice something, stop. Hold it there. And then inhale, bring yourself all the way up, grow a little taller, bring the arms all the way down, uncross your legs, come in back into your Tadasana, and stay here for a moment. Okay, let's do the other side. So bring your hands towards your heart, cross your left leg over your right leg, root down equally through both legs, both feet, and adjust your feet accordingly. Okay, and then bring your arms all the way up above your head, clasp your hands, point your fingers, point up. Okay, and then the right hip is going to go out towards the right side. Yeah. So right hip goes out towards the right side. Left foot is over towards the right side. And we're going to hold it here. Once that hip goes out, your feet might feel a little wonky, so make sure you have equal weight between both feet. Soften through the shoulders and through your face. And then we're going to side bend. So lift up a little higher, and we're going to side bend over towards the left side first. And again, once you start feeling things, then you know when to stop. Hold it here. Breathe. And then inhale, come all the way back up. And then reach up a little taller, and then move over towards that right side. And as soon as you start to notice some things, stop. Hold it there. Don't force it. And then inhale, lift yourself up a little bit taller. And then exhale, bring your arms down by your side, uncross your legs, stand in Tadasana for a moment. And notice. Okay, bring your hands towards your heart. I'm going to root down through the left foot. Take the right foot up, hover it, and then take a step forwards. Drop onto that right foot, and then bring the left leg up to hover. We're going to go back and forth. Take the left foot, bring it down, right foot hovers. Right foot comes down, left leg hovers. So we're just moving the weight back and forth, back and forth. Feeling that movement all the way from our toes, all the way up into our hips. Okay, the next time that you're on your left foot, we're going to hold it here. See if you can take your right knee, bring it up a little bit higher. Maybe you can hold on to the tibia. Try to stand up as tall as you can. Or just do the best that you can do. Maybe flex that foot, maybe point it, maybe do some ankle circles. Okay, and then become still for a moment. Then release that, bring that right foot down, and the left leg comes up. Can we grab it? Can we grab that back foot? Maybe we can touch the heel. Maybe we can grab the whole foot, bring it closer towards our buttocks. Hold it there. Just do what you can do. And again, if you fall out, begin again. And then release that leg and bring that foot back. And then bring weight into both feet. So both feet are straight here. Hold it here. Okay, and then we're going to inhale the arms all the way up. And we're going to reach ourselves forwards, 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 hinging from the hips, trying to keep the back as lengthened as possible. When we feel like we need to bend our knees, that's when we stop. And we just stop there. Equal weight through both feet. Hold it there. And then inhale, bring yourself all the way back up. Reach up a little taller, bring your hands back behind you into your lower back, fingers pointing towards your sacrum, elbows squeezing together. And we're going to just envision that we're leaning against a big beach ball. And when you start to notice things, that's when you stop. Equal weight between both feet. Okay, and then inhale, come back to center, bring the arms all the way up. Take a step forwards, bring your hands towards your heart, and then down by your side. And just take a moment again to reflect on this side of the body. I'm going to do the same sequence on the other side of the body. Okay, so to bring your hands towards your heart, lift your left leg, rooting down through your right foot. Left leg comes up. And we're going to plant it down. Hold on a second. I have to figure this out for a minute. I just did that, didn't I? And we're going to come down on that left foot, right foot picks up. And come down onto that right foot, which is in the back. Left foot is front. Balance, hover. Left foot comes down. Right leg lifts up. We're just going to keep moving back and forth through the feet. Finding the balance. Trying to stay as upright as possible. Feeling the movement right from our feet all the way up into the hips. Okay, let's do that one more time. And then we're going to land onto that right foot, bring the left knee in towards the chest, maybe hold on to the tibia, hold it up there, flex that foot, find your balance here. Maybe do ankle circles here, and this left ankle, maybe point and flex the foot. Again, if you fall out, begin again. Okay, and then release that. That left foot comes back down. The right foot comes up in the back. Can you grab that foot? You can wave at it. Maybe you can grab it. Maybe you get a cramp and you got to let go. Grab it again. Can you bring that heel up towards your buttocks? Maybe you're able to. And maybe it just stays low today. That's fine. Hold it there. And then slowly release that leg, bringing that foot back, straightening both legs, bringing the arms all the way up, reach, grow a little taller, and we're going to hinge from the hips, and we're going to reach ourselves forwards. Reach, 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 reach. When you really start to notice things and when you need to bend your knees, that's when you stop. Hold it here. Breathe. One more breath. Equal weight between both feet. And then lift yourself all the way up. Reach, go a little higher. Roll the arms back behind you. Place your hands on your sacrum, fingers pointing downwards. Equal weight between both feet, and lift yourself up a little higher. Open up through your chest and lean against your imaginary beach ball. Hold it here. Breathe. Eyes can be open. Challenging if they're closed. You might feel some movement happening in the feet. That's okay. We're always trying to strive for balance. Okay, and then on your next inhalation, bring yourself back up. Arms reach up. Take a step forwards. Bring your hands towards your heart and down by your side. Take a moment here. Notice. Breathe. Take a few moments to reflect. What's happening in your body? Okay, inhale the arms all the way back up again. Bring your hands towards your heart. Heel toe your feet away from each other. So your legs are somewhat wide. You're going to have your left foot face forwards, and you're going to turn your right foot outwards. So we're going to bring ourselves into a warrior two. Okay. Think about your hips here, that they're level. Your body's right in between your legs, equal weight between both feet. Looking over that right hand. Take a breath here. As you exhale, go backwards. As you inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, go forwards. Inhale back to warrior two. Straighten out that front leg. Reach forwards with that right hand. And then tip yourself into a triangle. Hold it here. Open us in through the hips and the chest. Inhale, lift yourself back up, back into your warrior two. And then exhale everything out, bring the arms down. Inhale the arms all the way up, pivot your right foot, reach up, and then open up your arms, hinge at the hips, and lower yourself all the way back down. All the way down onto the ground. Your fingertips touch the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. This time we're going to place our hands on our thighs. Make ourselves go into a little cow. And then exhale into a cat. Into a cow, feeling your pelvis move your hips. Exhale, cat. One more time. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. All the way back down. And then bring yourself all the way back up. Reaching up. Keep your right foot pointing forwards. The left foot turns and bring yourself into warrior two on this left side. Equal weight between both feet. Create some openness in the hips. Hold it here. Breathe. Take a big breath in here. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Inhale, back to warrior. Exhale, come forwards. Reach. Just tip yourself and reach. Inhale, back to warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Reach your left arm forwards and then tip yourself into your triangle pose. Feel the openness in the chest and in the hips. Taking one more breath here. And then inhale, coming all the way back up. Turn your left foot, bringing your arms all the way up into the air. And then exhale again, hinge from the hips, coming forwards. All the way down, down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend. Place your hands on your thighs. Two more cows and cats. Inhale, cow. Exhale, round out into your cat. Inhale, cow. Feel the pelvis moving and tilting. Exhale, cat. And then inhale, back to a level back. Arms come out. Bring the arms all the way up. Reach up. Bring your hands towards your heart. Turn your toes out a little bit and come right into Malasana. All the way down into Malasana. And then boom on the ground. Bring your legs out into a V. Flexing the feet. And just sitting up tall here. This is not my favorite pose, but I know it's good for me. So we're not forcing it. We're just feeling the openness. This is part of the thighs too. The inner thighs connects to the hips. So this is all part of the hips. Hold it here. Feel the magnetism through the inner thighs, but also feel yourself trying to open up a little bit more through the outside of the thigh. Okay, you're going to take your right foot and bring it in. The sole of your foot is going to come towards that left thigh. Okay, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to just turn our bodies towards, so we're facing that right knee. And the left foot is extended and the knee and the toes are pointed upwards. We're going to inhale the arms all the way up. And we're gonna tilt ourselves over, left hand's coming down towards that left foot, maybe grabbing hold of part of the leg or the foot, reaching that right arm all the way up, out and up. So it can come up or it can come all the way out and over. Holding it here, breathing, feeling the stretch, moving around into the back, which is connected to those hips, pushing both hips firmly into the ground. And then inhale, lifting yourself all the way up. We're gonna take the right hand, bring it down by the hip. We're gonna do a little mini baby wild thing. So pushing yourself up onto that right shin. Left foot pushes into the ground. You're gonna reach and open, little hip pelvic tilt here. Hold it there. And then slowly bringing yourself all the way back down. Good. Stretch your legs out again into a V. Sit here for a moment. Okay, and then take that left foot and bring it into the inside of that right thigh and sit up tall. Okay, and then we're going to twist over a little bit towards that left thigh. Bring the arms above our head and then tilt ourselves over, reaching that right arm towards the right leg or the foot, whatever it reaches first. Reaching that left arm, opening up through the chest, rooting down through both buttock cheeks, holding it here. Maybe you can feel the back moving into the hips. Okay, and on the next breath, inhale, lift yourself all the way up. Left arm comes down towards your left hip. You're gonna push into that hand, push into your right foot, into the left shin, and reach yourself up into your little baby wild thing. Opening up through the pelvis and through the hips, lifting up through the chest, feeling everything connected here. And then when you're ready, exhale, bring yourself all the way back down. Stretch out your legs, give them a little shake. And then bring yourself back into that butterfly that we started with. Notice how your butterfly feels now. You might feel a little looser. Maybe you have a little bit more gratitude for this pose. And just notice what you feel here. Maybe you don't feel so tight. Maybe you're more open to change and you can adjust yourself a little bit better. Let's hold it here for a few moments, just to notice. Trying to sit up as tall as you possibly can. So just taking this time again to do a little reflection. Just for a couple of breaths. Always checking in with the breath, noticing what it's doing. Okay, and then you can slowly bring your knees together. And then you're gonna lean back into your hands or onto your elbows. So your choice, either into your hands or onto your elbows. Moving your feet aside a little bit, and we're just gonna start to do some windshield wipers. Just back and forth, back and forth. Feeling that movement in through the hips. Okay, and then bring your knees back to center, and then you can bring your back all the way back onto your back. And lie down, making your head heavy on the ground. Your knees are bent. So we're just going on this last little thing. We're going to take your right ankle, cross it over on towards the left thigh. And just hold it here in this pigeon. It's reclined pigeon. You can press your hand your right hand against that right thigh, just giving a little bit more openness here. You're very welcome to stay here, or you can grab hold of that left thigh, bring it in towards your chest, almost like a thread the needle, and then maybe even bringing that left leg up towards the ceiling. Just making sure you're pressing your entire back and head into the ground. Holding it here for a couple of breaths. I'm just going to wherever you need to be. And you are where you need to be. Okay, and then take that left leg, if you brought it up, bring it back down. And then straighten out that left leg all the way out to the ground. Keep that right ankle onto that left thigh. And just hold yourself here. Those that are reclined kind of pigeon kind of thing. Okay, and then take that right leg and stretch it out right beside the left one. Take a moment to reach your arms above your head, give yourself a stretch. And then bring your hands down again and bend back into both knees. Take a moment here to notice. And then take your left ankle, cross it over on the right thigh, flexing that foot. And you can stay here if you like, if that feels good to you. I know it feels good to me. And taking that left hand and just doing a little gentle press, pressing that left leg away. Trying to be heavy in your head, heavy in your back and your shoulders. Okay, so you're welcome to stay there. If you want to go a little further, you're going to grab hold of that right thigh with both hands, bring it a little bit closer towards your chest. You can keep that right knee bent if that feels good. Or if you want to, you can stretch that leg all the way up towards the ceiling with just a little bit more intensity. Hold it there. Pushing your lower back and your entire back and your shoulders and your head heavy into the ground. Okay, one more breath here. And then you can release and bend back into that right knee, placing the foot down onto the ground, and then slide the foot all the way down, stretching it out, flexing that foot so both feet are flexed. And we're just holding it here for a couple of breaths. Okay, and then you're going to take that left leg, and I think you're just going to reach it all the way down beside that right leg, and just give yourself a little moment here. And then we'll walk those feet a little bit more back into a bend. And we'll start to windshield wipe them again, just a few times, back and forth. Maybe this time we're going to move the head in the opposite direction. And being free to pause whenever you feel like you need to pause. If you don't feel like you need to stop, then just keep moving side to side. So just do that a couple more times, and then you can bring yourself into your Savasana. Whenever you're ready, extend your legs out to the corners of your mat. Bring your arms to wherever they feel comfortable and give in. Give in to the support the earth and the mat are giving you. Find the place of deep relaxation. Just feel your breath moving in and out of your body. I encourage you to stay in your Savasana for a little bit longer, if you can. Just staying here to allow everything to become integrated. We don't take enough time to rest. Rest is so, so very important. We're always so busy trying to get things done, places to go, people to see, things to do. We need to rest a little bit more often. Even if it's just for a couple of breaths, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour or two. Don't ever feel guilty about taking time to rest. Our culture, our world is deeply in need of total rest. So I encourage you to stay here for as long as possible. Or if you'd like to join me to finish our practice today and begin to bring some movement back into the body, allow the breath to deepen, and give yourself a little stretch. And then make your way into a fetal position and then slowly bringing yourself up if you want to. But again, I encourage you to stay in relaxation. Just closing down your eyes again, if you open them, and just take some time to reflect for the practice. Were you willing to start up again? Did you have some questions for yourself? Were you able to make some choices on what to do and what not to do? Did you find the truth? Did you take time to reflect? Let's bring our hands towards our heart, bow our heads, and give ourselves gratitude for taking the time out of our day to come together to practice to be a better person, to take care of ourselves a little bit more, to take time for rest. And the more we're kind, we can spread that kindness out to others, which is so deeply needed in this world. So if you want to send some gratitude out to anything or anyone out there, please do. And we'll finish this practice with one Om together. Take a breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. And breathe in for one Om. Om. Namaste.